All right. Well, hope you all having a happy 4th of July. I wasn't going to be filming a video originally, but something kind of came up. But if you haven't had a chance already, get out there, grill up some food, blow up some Chinese fireworks and all that good stuff. All the stuff that us Americans like to do on the birthday of our nation. It's been 250 years. But this is a very important story that I wanted to talk about. So let's go ahead and pop right over here, guys. So you'll notice here that I've got the PlayStation terms of service, and good old Sony. They've been taking a lot of L's lately, and for very good reason, of course. I previously talked about it in a video up there where they're ending the physical disc production. There were some other things that they're doing as well, like shutting down the PS3 and the PS Vita store. And then I also didn't even talk about them cutting out the Studio Canal stuff. But let me go ahead and pop open my Pepsi Probiotic Cola for a new generation. And we'll get right to it, because this isn't actually about the US PlayStation terms of service. This is actually about something else entirely. So we've got Pirate Nation right here. Over on good old Twitter, PlayStation updated its terms of services in April 2026, and Section 21 outlines how inactive PlayStation Network accounts may be closed. If a PSN account remains inactive for 36 months, Sony may begin the account closure process. The account holder will receive an email notification as 6 months to sign in or request that the account remain active. If no action is taken, the account is closed. Access to PlayStation Network services will end. Any digital purchases tied to that account, including games, DLC, and other digital content, will no longer be accessible. According to the terms of service, this process is irreversible. That sounds pretty bad, especially considering Sony wants everybody, of course, to go to digital-only gaming, where you will download everything. Everything's going to be online. You will have to connect to the internet. You will go on to the PlayStation Store on your console, or I suppose you could theoretically also go on the PlayStation Store on your phone or your PC and download and purchase the games that way. I would imagine with the latter two, it would actually just trigger the PlayStation system to download that content. But I digress. So I wanted to check that out, because this right here I have is the UK terms of service. And this clause does in fact exist, just like it's outlined right there on Twitter. So this is not clickbait. This is not sensationalized. As you can read there, you may close your account by contacting. So you can manually do it, of course, which is fine. If you're making a conscious decision to close your account, you probably have a pretty good reason to do so. And it would be understandable that you're going to lose access to your purchases along with that. That's to be expected. But this right here, if you have not used your account for at least 36 months, we may take steps. That's all right there in black and white, or I guess blue and white in the case of how I highlighted the text there. But absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, is it an unreasonable clause entirely for them to close an inactive account? Not necessarily. However, it is kind of ridiculous considering how much actual server space and everything like that having a PlayStation account would have on their server farm. Like, it's pretty much minute. It's not going to really make a difference if they leave your account open or not. And it's kind of ridiculous, honestly, that they will be able to just arbitrarily close your account under these circumstances just because you haven't played for a while. There could be a lot of reasons. Somebody might not get on their PlayStation account for 3+ years. I imagine this won't affect most people. This probably won't affect 99% of people, I'm sure. And of course, if somebody passes away, obviously they're not going to be getting on the account anymore. And that's going to be, it's irrelevant at that point because the person's dead, right? Like, who cares? But this is absolutely ludicrous. It's undefendable, guys. I just don't know what to think about this. You know, and it's kind of funny. This is now just being discovered. Maybe people started really digging into the terms of service, trying to fine tooth comb every single little thing that may have been updated or changed and comparing it to previous iterations. I don't know. This is just indefensible. And it's just another reason why we need access to physical games. We need access to competitive ecosystems for gaming. This is the way that we can ensure that we have the best possible rights as consumers. You know, what else is in this documentation? This really long legalese document that we need to be aware of. You know, I mean, I'm just very disappointed, guys. But go ahead and blow up some Roman candles or bottle rockets or whatever. You know, maybe you got like one of those big tube things that shoot out a bunch of things that cost like $100 and makes like a little mini fireworks show. You know, blow some shit up, have some fun. Happy 4th of July. But, you know, if you're apparently in the EU or the UK, this is something you need to be aware of. And if you're not, but you know somebody who is, make sure they are aware of it. You know, because it could mean that they could lose their entire digital library of PlayStation software. Yeah, that sounds like a good time, doesn't it? So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to check out the most recent video that's right above my head. That's the most recent one I did. Obviously, besides this one, of course. And then, of course, in the top left corner, the algorithm is going to send something that it thinks it'll be fire for you. So be sure to check that out. And thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. But that's going to be the last line.